Hello class, I'm Dr. Knapp. Welcome to NUR 3805, Roles and Dimensions we call it. I've prepared a short video here to show you a little bit of information about APA. I wanted to do this the very first week, but you have some assignments right away, so you are going to need to know this right away, but I wanted to relieve some of your anxiety. A lot of students are really stressed over APA. Some people will tell you, oh, it's not hard. They're lying. It's hard. It is hard. But I'm trying to streamline it, and I'm going to show you what it is that I expect and what is expected in this program. Because you can't possibly learn everything in APA. I've been using this format for years, and I still don't know it all. And besides, just when you think you do know it all, they get a new edition out. So that takes care of that. Anyway, this is what we're going to talk about. APA stands for the American Psychological Association, as you can see right here. That's what it stands for. Why use APA or any formatting? Well, it facilitates uniformity. APA is when a paper is in APA format, there are certain expectations that are met, and if you consistently use that same format, it makes the flow when you're reading, especially going from one paper to another, it makes it much easier. It facilitates uniformity, in other words. It also promotes nursing as a science. All of the sciences, medicine, pharmacology, psychology, and not just the health sciences, but all the sciences are using some type of format. Most of them use APA. So nursing needs to step up to the plate. Is it really worth the effort? Most definitely. It is worth the effort for immediate results because this is an introductory course, and although the large part of this course is learning about roles and dimensions, it's also a vehicle to teach you APA, and so we do spend quite a bit of time on that. Once you master it this semester, it is going to make the rest of the semesters so much easier because you're going to be doing this every single semester. If you go to grad school, they'll be doing it there too. If you don't go to grad school and you read research papers, you'll see it. So you do need to know it. So there's a few things I want you to remember. APA is very important to learn, but it's a small amount of your grade. And we are just starting out here. The manual is huge. There are so many things, so many facets to APA. We're not going to learn all of it. There's just certain things I expect. Expect markup on your papers. Regardless whether the paper is fantastic or not so good, there's going to be a lot of markup on it. That's because this is for you to learn. If you get an A paper, there's always room for improvement, so I'm still going to put comments on your paper. I well remember when I first got my paper back when I was in the bachelor's program at JU, and I had a lot of markings on it. I was really upset because I thought I did so well. Well, I did do a good job. I got an A, but my professor had a lot to say, so she said it. Always believe the manual above anything else, and we'll cover that a little bit more on the next slide. There are a lot of resources out there that are designed to make APA easier. There are templates. There is software. I want to warn you, if you rely on the software, you're not going to learn APA. And you do have to know it to a certain extent before you can make the software work correctly, because you have to plug in information. And you have to know what information to plug in. So I do not recommend that you use the software. Some of them are not accurate. Most of them are okay, but not necessarily. So do not rely on the software. That being said, there are some websites out there that are really good. I've given you two right here that we'll look at in a minute. They are in compliance with APA. I do want to say, if there is a discrepancy between any resources you use, including these, and the APA manual, the manual wins. But we probably won't get into that much detail as far as these two websites go. Now, the software I really can't say because I don't I mean, there's so many different ones out there. Some of them could really be poor quality. But let's look at these websites, and I can pull them up right here. This is the APA style quick study, and we're just going to scroll down a little bit. It tells you a little bit about the introduction, the documentation, the page format, the text rules. Sorry about that. Goes into a little more detail about each one of these topics. Gives you some examples. There's references. Text citations. Your page format. This is a very helpful tool. Another one is also DocStyles, but this is specifically for college papers. Okay. This has an index up here. These are the topics. All this information you can scroll down to, but if you want to go directly to it, let's say you want to know how to reference a journal article, click right here. See where it says journal articles? Click on that, and here they are. Or scrolling back up to the top, if you wanted to know about headings. This shows you your headings. So I think you'll find this useful. There are some other ones out there. There's one from Purdue University, P-U-R-D-U-E. It's called Purdue OWL. That is really good too. I should probably add that. The next slide is I call it the basic nuts and bolts of APA. It is a research. These papers are written in a research format, and they include a title page. Research papers have abstracts, but because ours are not as long as your standard research papers, I do not require an abstract, so you will not need to be doing that. There's an introduction, then there's methods, results, discussion, and conclusion as a part of the body. Then you have references, and if you want, you can add appendices. Let's talk a little bit about these headings now. You're going to have a title up at the top of the paper, which I'll show you a sample in a minute. You're not going to have a title that says introduction. You just go right into your introduction. Then you have headings, method, results, and discussion, and conclusion. What I want in the method is how did you get the information? Did you go to the library? Did you look at an online database like CINAHL or Medline or PubMed? Did you interview people? Are you using your own experiences? Did you collect data in a hospital? Did you look at newspapers? What did you do? What were your search words? What search words did you use? Did you use Google or Google Scholar? Then put that in too. For the results, this piece should be, what is it that you learned? This is where I should see a lot of your references. Not necessarily, but probably this is where I'm going to see your references, because I want to know what is it that you got, what information did you obtain, what did you learn when you use your methods. Then you're going to have, the next heading is your discussion. Well, what do you have to say about it? Now that you've done your research, you've gathered your information, you've reported what you learned, what do you have to say about it? Then at the end you're going to have a conclusion. With the conclusion you just tie it all in together, and that could be as short as just one paragraph. Then you have your references, and like I say, you can add appendices if you want. I doubt that any of you are going to do that, but if you are going to, that's where they go. So this is a sample title page. This is not APA's title page. This is, as JR states. You see the running head up here at the top. The running head, it says running head with the H not capitalized, the R is, and then a colon, and then a shortened version of your title right here in all caps with the page number, page 1. I do want the page number on page 1. Then you have your full title here, your name, the full name of the class, including the number, my name, St. Johns River State College, and the date. 2018, I just realized that, huh? Okay, anyway, this is what it looks like. Now, if you have a short title, technically, according to the manual, this running head can be up to 50 characters, so you may be able to just use the whole title if you want. But it can't be more than 50 characters. Now, the running head on the title page looks different from what it looks like on all the other pages, and I'll show you that in just a minute. In fact, let's just move right along to it now. See, it doesn't say running head. It just says community at risk. And this should be page 2, not page 1. Sorry about that. So, you have your title here. It is not bolded, and it's centered in a line. You do not have an extra space. You just double space down, and here's the beginning. This is your introduction here. Remember, it doesn't say introduction right here. You just go right into your introduction. And I've got all these X's because I just didn't want to put words in here. It's just to take up space. Then here's your method, your results, your discussion, and your conclusion. Now, obviously, it's going to be more than one page because you have a minimum word requirement. It's going to be a lot more than one page. I just condensed it all to one page to show you the format. So the next one are the references. I apologize, this running head should just say community at risk. I missed that. It should not say running head. But this is what your references should look like. References is centered, not bolded. Your references are flush with the left margin for the first line. The second and all other lines after it are indented, and there is no extra spacing in between the references. This is what your citations within the paper will say. There's several ways to do it, but this is the most commonly used. Let's say that Hacker, the book Hacker says paragraphs must be indented. Okay, paragraphs must, and this is paraphrase. This is not a quote. Paragraphs must be indented. That information came from Hacker, which was published in 2009. Now, if the book said explicitly, and I quote, paragraphs must be indented, then you put it in quotation marks. You have your reference just like this, but you also have the page number. When I look at the references at the end of the page, there should be one that says Hacker, and it was published in 2009. So the whole idea behind having the citations is the citations are within the text. You look at the citation, you drop down to the reference, and you can see exactly what it is. So this is a little introduction. I do hope it helps. I hope you all looked at it. If you didn't, you won't know that I'm saying this, will you? But it had some very valuable information in it. And if any of your peers, your co-students are having some issues, remind them about this video and tell them to go back and look at it. Okay? You all have a great day.